Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Love Inspiry Space on the internet. In today's video, we are going to be doing a part 2 of supporting a grieving partner. In just a few moments, I will be joined by my husband, Angie Rolle, who is going to discuss what it was like losing his mother and how to pick back up the pieces when you have a family. Stick around and let's talk love. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Love Inspiry's YouTube channel. For those who don't know, my name is Angie. I'm the founder of Love Inspiry, where our mission is to build more powerful, transparent, and durable relationship. Like you see, I have a special guest with me here today, my husband, Angie Rolle, who's going to join the conversation. For those who don't know, I did a video on supporting a grieving partner and it has done really well for the channel. Unfortunately, it's not a video that I would want to go, not necessarily it's not viral, but I wouldn't want that video because of the nature, the contents of the video with, you know, having my mother-in-law, his mother pass away. But it's necessary to talk about in relationships because it impacts your relationship. And it's something that most people, a lot of people are really going through right now because of coronavirus, because of these things. You know, death is more around us than it has ever been. We're hearing about it a lot. So I felt like it would be a good opportunity to do a part 2 with my husband to give his point of view and some advice for you know, men and women that are going through this same situation. So hello to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good. So I wanted to start off and just ask you, how are you doing with the passing of your mother? How are you doing internally?
I think every day is different. First, let me say happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Every day is different. Right. You know, some days are good, some days are bad. It's always going to be a difficult process, I believe. Until the day I die, it's always going to be difficult. Right. I'm always going to think about my mother. But some days your memories are full of the good things. Right. And that always brings a smile to your face. And then some days you like, every time you see a picture of it, it's just like the tears come down like a fountain. It's just, but every day is different. Yeah. But you know, I think in time it has gotten better. Right. She's been gone a little over a year now. Still hard, but it has definitely gotten better.
How do you pick back up the pieces and just carry on with your life, knowing that there's a huge void right in there with the passing of her?
As a preacher, it's just I always have that faith-based mindset. I always go off the principles that were laid out in the Bible, right? And the hope that in the resurrection, the hope that we will meet again, right? And that's what keeps me going. Seeing how sick my mother actually was. Even I didn't know how sick she was. The thing about me and that separates me from my other siblings is the distance in between me and my mother. Right. They got to see her every day. They saw how sick she was. They saw all the doctor's appointments and all the medications. They saw things I didn't see. Right. So to find out afterwards exactly how sick she was, yeah, and the faith that I have in the Lord that she's not feeling that sickness, right, that she felt down here. That's the comforting part. That's what really keeps me going. The fact that where she is now, she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Right. Where she is now, she doesn't feel pain anymore. So for me to want her to continue on in this world or want her to come back to this world, it's kind of selfish. Right. Because the conditions that she had really wouldn't have got any better. Right. There's no medical cure for them. Cancer and a whole list of other things she dealt with. Yeah. There's no real cure for them. So they would have progressively got worse. Yeah. So to know that she doesn't have to deal with that anymore, I would prefer her be where she is, right, rather than her be where I am. Right. That's in the Bible. Yeah. When David, son, first child that he had with Bathsheba, when the child was sick, he grieved, he mourned, he wouldn't eat. But when the child died, he was comforted. Right. And when they inquired, like, why are you like this? Why are you so happy now that the child's dead? Shouldn't you be sad now? He said, I would rather be where the child is than have the child where I'm at.
Right.
And that's the condition I'm in with my mother.
How do you, and what I'm hearing, and obviously I know these things, is it takes a lot of faith. So if you guys are out there, you guys are Christians, you definitely have to rely on your faith to get you through something like this. Something so delicate and fragile as losing, as I call it, an MVP in your life. You know, that particular doesn't necessarily have to be a mother, but anybody that is like extremely close to you.
Right.
You know, especially a mother, because you spend 10 months with them in the womb. You know, you share, you're breastfed possibly, or you have this bond that's just like no other bond.
Right.
And we know that the connections that mothers have with their sons, mothers have with their daughters, or even adopted people, even the connection that I had with her as a daughter-in-law. How do you do all of this, deal with your emotions? You know, obviously men, they have emotions, they just tend to withhold them or hold them in, they don't express it. So how do you find yourself having to manage your emotions and then manage a household where you have people like myself following you as the leader of our household? How do you manage all of that and, you know, pick yourself back up and just, okay, I gotta lead, I have a family, I have a wife.
Right. And then one thing, like, I got to go back to the Bible. Every leader that the Lord chose in the Bible, the first commandment, the first bit of instruction that he gave every leader was be strong and of a good courage. And that's the first attribute I feel of a leader, is to be strong. And we have to know that these things are coming.
Right.
Death is going to come to us all, whether it's coronavirus, cancer, accidents. We all have to die one day. Right. So in the back of our mind, we have to always mentally prepare that one day, whether it's your spouse, your parent, you're going to have to live life without this person. Right. You have to keep that in your mind. And I always feel as if the mind is so fragile.
Yes.
The mind is a fragile thing. Stress and sorrow and all these things can pretty much take you over the top.
Yeah.
And it's hard to lead when you're not fully there. Yeah. Like, I have to be fully there to lead my home. And if you have children, you got to know that your family, although they loved whoever passed, they don't share the same bond that you did. So you have like a special bond. And the way that you looked up to that person, the bond that you shared with that person, your children or your spouse, they're looking at you that same way.
Yeah.
So they're looking to you to lead. So remember, when you lose that person in your life, you still have people that are looking up to you as you looked up to this person.
Right.
So you have to be strong for them. And I'm pretty much, I hate to speak for other people, but I'm pretty sure that that's what they would have wanted. That's what my mother, I know my mother.
Yeah.
That's what she would have wanted. She didn't want anybody worrying about her when she was sick. So why should I know she wouldn't want anybody worrying about her where she is now.
Right.
In heaven with the Lord. There's no need for us worrying about her now. That's what Jesus said when he left. He said, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and your children and your children's children. Yeah. And it wasn't just speaking for himself, but he was speaking for anybody that's making that transition from labor into reward. We don't need to weep for them. That's why they call it a homegoing celebration. Yeah. It's a joyful occasion that this person is gone to be with the Lord. As we say, they're gone from the evil to come.
Right. You struck a question that popped up in my head. It's not a question that we discussed or talked about, you know, sharing with this type of audience, but did you ever, in your grief and dealing with stuff and having to be the leader of the household, ever find yourself getting short with me because you were still trying to process that, and maybe I just didn't know it?
Like I said, I understand how fragile the mind is, and I tried to make a conscious effort to always be considerate to others in this time. Like, never to take my frustration and my sorrow out on anybody else. I tried to make a conscious effort to be extra nice to the people that are around me, because they don't know how to handle that. Just as if I'm processing this for the first time, because this is the first parent I've lost. This is their first time being married to somebody that lost a parent. Just as I don't know how to handle that, they don't know how to handle that. So they're doing the best they can. And always keep that in mind when you lose somebody, that these people that are trying to comfort you are doing the best they can in the situation. Some people have been in this situation before. They have lost a parent, and they can give you great advice.
Right.
But if you know somebody has never been in that situation, all they're trying to do is help you. And I knew that all you were trying to do was comfort me.
Mm-hmm. So what would be your advice to men that have lost an MVP in their life? What would you say to them as the leader of their household? How would you encourage them to carry on?
I just want to say, like, think of the strength that they displayed in their lives, the person that you lost. And be that example to others. Be that example to your children. Want your children to look at you when you pass the same way that you looked at your parent when they passed. And just remember, always remember how precious time is. That tomorrow is not promised to us. Within a week span, I got the news that my mother had coronavirus, and she passed all within a 7-day span. So that quick, even though I knew she was sick, she wasn't so sick to the point of death.
Right.
So I had to process this within a week span. So my words of advice to anybody that we all will have to face it if we keep on living.
Yeah.
But just be strong. Trust in the Lord. And lean not upon your own understanding, as the Bible says. Just trust in the Lord and be strong. Be that rock for your family. Your family are the ones that are depending on you to get through this. And you don't have to go through this alone.
Right.
Like a lot of men, we try to do things alone, but your wife, your children, they are there to uplift your spirits. Surround yourself with positive people that are going to bring to mind the good times. Sometimes you need help.
Yeah.
You need people to help you bring back these memories of good times. My wife might have memories that might have slipped my mind, and she was like, oh, remember that time your mom did so-and-so? Use them to help uplift you. And the more you're uplifted, the better of a leader you can be.
Right. I was thinking about the things that I personally did, and I did a video on, and like I said in the beginning, where I gave tips on how to help a grieving partner, just from my experience of dealing with it, because it was the first death in our families that kind of really hit everybody hard.
Right.
It was the first real grief that we had to deal with. Nobody of, I don't want to say nobody of importance, Lord, please forgive me, but nobody in my family on my side that I'm super duper close with has passed yet. Anybody that I'm still close with is still living. Right. And it's the same thing for you, except for this. So it was kind of a transition, and like you said, a soft spot of where I had to get in touch with the sensitive side of, okay, you know, watch your words, watch what you say, pick and choose your battles, because everything is not particularly important at this particular time in our lives. So for women, I gave the advice from my standpoint, but from a man's standpoint, do you have any advice to women and what, you know, they can do for their husbands going through this? Like, what would you have wanted to see more encouragement from me, or did I do just enough to help ease the process? Just tell me about that.
Every man is different, but I say in every situation the same thing. The main thing is to be patient with this person, because everybody's timetable of grief is different, and also the way everybody grieves is different. Some people will cry it out, some people will hold it in, some people it may take a month, some people may take a year. I know in my job, when this level of bereavement, they don't put an actual timetable to return to work, because they know everybody grieves different. And it's the same way with a man, the same way in any situation, whether you lost a husband or whether you lost a wife, whether you lost a mother or a father, they just need time.
Right.
And do the best you can do to not trigger that person. Certain things that can trigger me. I can walk by that picture of my mother 10, 15 times a day, but every once in a while I walk by and it just catch my eye, and it's just like, I can't believe she's gone. Certain things somebody will say, certain songs somebody may sing at church that just make me remember, and never think that just because it's 5 years down the line and my wife walks in and sees me crying, don't think, oh, you should be over that by now. Okay, all right, it's enough of that. I need you here. I need you to do this. Just be patient. Yeah,
patience is key.
Yeah.
It's key, and it's definitely needed from what I see and have been seeing in relationships.
Right.
It's really the key to success, having patience. But I thought it was really important for you to talk from your standpoint, speak from your experience, so we can get an idea of what it really is like, and give the best advice from somebody that has actually been through it. So I thank you for your transparency and your time, because we know you busy. Your time doing this, and showing up for this part 2, and having being here and expressing this. So thank you for that. And thank you to anybody that's listening. If you guys are going through grief, please feel free to reach out to us, and if we can help you talk through it if it's impacting your relationship in a negative way. I personally think that we have navigated this very well as a couple.
Yeah.
We've been married for over a decade, so we should have some sort of a backbone or some kind of foundation for handling conflict, but that's not always the case, especially, like I said, when an MVP dies in your life. So like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you need somebody to vent or talk to, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach us at www.loveinspiry.com. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment below, let us know how you liked it. And any last final words?
Thank you for being there for me during these difficult days and difficult times. I know there's still going to be difficult days ahead. Like I said, the pain I know will never fully go away, but is just having somebody that has your back, it just helps out a lot.
Yeah. So
be there for that spouse during these difficult times.
Yeah, be there. See you guys all in the next one. Have a blessed day.